ジャギ様から盗み取った北斗神拳、とくと味合わせてやるわ。
Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Midway and I hope you're doing alright today. I want to let you know that only about 13% of you are all subscribed to my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you could go ahead and click that sub button. It really goes a long way on me being able to build the channel up, and I really hope you enjoyed the video, so let's get into it. Now, the talents are out, the alpha is not out yet, and therefore there's no way of seeing the actual tree, but there is a preview of what the tree is going to be looking like, so let's look at it. So there is the, let me put it in the middle so it's not, yeah, that's a good positioning. Yep. So this is the new patch notes for the alpha patch, you could call it. And there is new stuff, new zones, new dungeons, there's level increase, whatever, mechanisms re-enabled. Okay, so the new talent stuff, there's been some stuff for Evoker, some stuff for Hunters, some stuff for Paladins, there we go. And Shamans and Warlocks and Warriors and a bunch of stuff, okay. So, let's go on to what we care about. Paladins. The Holy Paladin talent tree is now enabled in this alpha build. For Dragonflight, we want to give Holy Paladins more options for castered focus playstyles by bringing back the power of the Silver Hand passive effect from the Legion artifact. I do not remember what that is. In addition to the active button Tears Deliverance. Okay, so they're actually bringing back Tears Deliverance. It used to be the artifact ability. I talked about this on my wish list for the Holy Paladin tree. Yeah, they seem to be bringing it back. Let's just for the sake of it look at what the Tears Deliverance does. Why did the suggestion disappear? Tears Deliverance is this ability that when you use it, it applies a healing over time effect to an ally, also increasing the amount of healing they receive by 20% from Holy Light and Flash of Light, only from those two spells. This was not too much of a powerful ability, but it was a nice, it was a flavorful touch. Now the fact that it's focused on Holy Light and Flash of Light, I don't really remember this, but apparently it is. I completely forgot about that part. Now what about the power of the Silver Hand? I don't remember what this was. Holy Light and Flash of Light have a chance to unlock the power of the Silver Hand, increasing the healing of your next Holy Shock by 10%. And all damage and effective healing you do within the next 10 seconds. Okay, so each time you cast Holy Light and Flash of Light, there is a chance to make Holy Shock do more healing and increase all damage and healing you do for the next 10 seconds. Therefore, you want to be using Holy Light and Flash of Light to keep proccing these. I mean, 10% increased healing and damage is definitely good. So they are definitely focusing on caster heavy stuff. Now let's see about this. Class talents, after image now correctly only triggers Word of Glory cast. So after image, let's pull out the actual Paladin talents as well. The actual Paladin talent tree. Not the data mine ones. This is an old one. Where's the talent trees? Where do you find that? Classes? I'm sure it's not there. Talent calculator. That is, yeah, that's it. Okay. So go to Paladin. Can't it just open the entire thing? Obviously, hold is not up yet. So let's go to red. So what happened with that was that after image And triggers the Water Glory cast. What was that actually? After image. It rings a bell. Don't remember what that was though. There it is. After spending 20 holy power, your next Water Glory echoes onto a nearby ally at 30% effectiveness. So it was bugged and it was also triggering something else or multiple. Okay, incandescence damage increased by 300%. This talent was extremely undertuned and did not feel rewarding as a point to invest in the talent tree. Incandescence was this thing over. What am I looking at here? Was this talent point? Here, yeah, exactly. Each holy powers you spend has a 5% chance to cause consecration to flare up, dealing medium holy damage up to 5 enemies standing within it. So it's been buffed by 300%. Well, we never tried it because I don't have alpha access, so I don't know how big of a change this might be, but 300 definitely sounds like a lot. There's been some stuff for red, a lot of stuff. I want to look at that another time. But the actual Paladin tree is here, so let's look at it. So the whole Paladin talent tree is available in Dragonflight Alpha build. Here's a first look at the talent tree, which includes the whole Paladin Legion artifact ability and much more. Our Dragonflight talent calculator for the build will likely be ready shortly. For now, you can read the data mine abilities below. They say they want open caster focus playstyle, but Alpha talents look like it was superior in compare with melee build. Yeah, that's what I was told, and I read that as well. Let's see about that. We apologize in advance if there's any incorrections, but they will be updated. Okay. So, we might find odd stuff, but we'll see about that. Let's go. Highlights. A few highlights. The Legion artifact ability is returning. We knew that. We've just read about that. The other Legion artifact traits are returning that are Power of the Silver Hand. We read about that. Protection of Tier. Aura Mastery also increases all healing received by party or raid members within 40 yards by 15%. That's good, I guess. That is a little bit like Divine Neem. Whenever you use it, you also increase the healing received by the allies. So, I don't know. Sure, why not? Increase the range of Tier's Deliverance by 2 yards, healing at 5% and healing bonus by 5%. So that's not too exciting, but it's probably gonna be like a 2-point talent, so you can make it 30% increase healing. Sure. I mean, Tier's Deliverance in Mythic Plus is going to be just like an increased healing for the tank mainly. If you have like a priority target at that point, you'll just use it, but we'll see. The Night Fae Covenant ability, Blessing of Seasons, is returning. Huh? Are you shitting me? Nobody's played this shit. Why would they force it upon us? Oh my god. Oh my god. You will probably choose it in all dungeons we have a standing range. Holy fucking shit, they brought back Night Fae ability. I mean, I can see in the tree we have Divine Toll as well, but... Oh, you have the option. Okay, well, whatever. Stack Blessing of Sour with Power Infusion to massively buff a player and reduce the cooldown of a player's cooldown with Blessing. Why are you talking about Power Infusion in my tree? What the fuck are you doing, Wowhead? What the fuck are you talking about? Why would I give a shit about Power Infusion? I'm a paladin, shut up. Yeah, of course you can stack externals. We've seen that in Warcraft logs all the time. No shit you can do that. Shut up. Yeah, we know what those do. Have they buffed them or something? It's only useful with PI. That sounds weird. Like, why would they say that? Whatever. Let's see. We could look at this. Okay, so row 1. You can open this. I don't have enough screen space to fit those two things in, right? Can I do this and like make it smaller like this and then open another tab? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Open another tab and I'm gonna put it like here. So we can like 50-50 see one thing and the other. Although you can barely see shit on the screen, right? I don't know. Let's see. Holy Shock, it's the first row. We know what Holy Shock does, dealing 68% of spell power. Is that the same amount now? I can't tell, would have to go to Wowhead for that. I don't know what the percent of my spells are doing right now. But 68% or 155 in terms of healing. Additional critical strike effect, generates 1 holy power. So that's really just what it is right now. Let's look at it though. I doubt they've changed anything, but just in case. It is 68, it is 155 already, and it already has a 30% increased crit chance, so nothing's changed there. It is the same. What the hell? Did not adjust. Oh, this is the other one. Never mind. There it is. So that's the same. We just assume everything's the same for now, just to make it quicker. Holy Light, an efficient spell, healing a friendly target by a bunch. So you gotta pick Holy Light or Light of Dawn, or both, of course. 5 injured allies, 15 yards, a bunch of spell powers, same as now. Nothing special. Row 3, there's a new thing, Illumination. We know this is a part. Wait, hold up now. Holy Light and Flash of Light healing increased by 10%. That's just a 1 power point. You have to pick Infusion of Light. You have to pick it. Okay. Your critical shocks reduce the cooldown of your next... The cost of your next Flash of Light by 30%. And cause the next Holy Light to generate 1 holy power. They haven't done anything to Infusion of Light. They literally haven't done anything to Infusion of Light. It is the same as it's been before. It is the same. That is really bad. I am very disappointed with this. Increasing the healing of Holy Light and Flash of Light. Whatever. This is looking dog, by the way, right now. Bestow Faith. Begin mending the wounds. Okay, you pick Bestow Faith, or you pick Unending Light. Each holy power spent on Light of Dawn increases the healing of your next Word of Glory by 5% up to a maximum of 45%. Is this the way they have of making us actually use Word of Glory in raids? Is this the best they could come up with? Well, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's like a weak version of Marats. It's literally like a weak version of Marats over time. Whenever you have enough Lights of Dawn, you'll use a Word of Glory. It might not even be worth it. Like, that's mathematics, but it might not even be worth it using a Word of Glory. But yeah. Each holy power spent, so you get... What is it? 45 divided by 5. It's 9. 9 holy power. Well, that's a weird number. Why not 50%? Just make it 10 holy power, whatever. It's like every 3 Lights of Dawn you can use an empowered Word of Glory. So that could be the gameplay, in theory. Now, without the 4 set, you would not be using Light of Dawn in Mythic Plus, so that would only be applied for raids. Not even in PvP, of course. But yeah, that's that. Let's look at the next row. Focal Light. Beacon of Light transfers an additional amount healed. That is boring. I'm sure, yeah, of course, like, this is not something new. They are literally just taking away healing power from Beacon and creating this new talent so that you have to increase it if you want to spec into it. Boring. Reduce all damage you take by 20%. Of course, you're always going to be picking that. Save by the Light. No, not Save by the Light, man. That's such a bad talent. It's so boring. Nobody's ever played it. An ally falls below 30% health, and then they absorb the next amount of damage. It's a small absorb. It has a massive internal cooldown. Now, if they make this shield huge, could be good, but it's only the allies with Beacon of Light, so you need to be really playing Beacon of Virtue if you want to get big value out of it in Mythic Plus. Otherwise, this is dog shit. This is dog shit. I hate Save by the Light. Nobody's played this ever. It's so bad. Radiant Onslaught. Crusader Strike now has 2 charges. Okay, so you don't have 2 charges baseline. Now, a choice between Light's Hammer or Holy Prism. So, same 2 spells that we've probably already been able to pick, right? As in the same row. No. Nobody's picked Holy Prism in ages. Not because it's bad, it's just because it's another GCD and it just doesn't justify having to use an extra GCD on this random spell when you could just use Judgment and make your rotation smoother. I mean, yeah, whatever. Sure, you could probably justify picking it if it's buffed. But otherwise, I'm just seeing Hammer of Light being the option. It doesn't matter. Honestly, you could pick either. The effect of either could be more or less interesting depending on tuning. Otherwise, it could be a matter of, is the raid spread, is the raid not spread? Whatever. It's cool, I guess. Now there's a new one, Moment of Compassion. Your Flash of Light heals for an additional 10% when cast on a target affected by your Beacon of Light. Didn't this already exist? I think this already existed somehow. This was somewhere somehow. But you never want to use heals on your beacon targets if you can avoid it, because the heals you do on your beacon targets do not get transferred through that beacon, so you're losing value on the beacons. So this is not exciting whatsoever, but if you need to really spam your beacon target, which would always be dog shit to do, but you would get holy power out of it, so, I mean, depending on what they're really going for, but this already sounds like a mix. Not actually a mix, sounds like a mess, rather. Aura Mastery, sure, you have to pick it. Tower of Radiance, casting Holy Light or Flash of Light on your beacon grants one holy power. So, okay, so this is not baseline either. I mean, yeah, you would pick that for sure if you're really going to go for a caster heavy focus build. Shining Savior, Word of Glory, and Ladadon healing increased by 5%. What is this? Dude, this is so boring. And it's this one over here, right? So it's like Rule of Law, but they call it this, and it just increases healing now by 5%. You would always pick this. This is so boring. Lad of the Martyr. Simply Lad of the Martyr. Okay. Sure. Imperial Ward, Lay on Hands grants the target 50% increased armor. This already existed, and you never played. This was like an Acerite power. This was an Acerite power. Nobody ever picked this. This is dog shit. That's absolute dog shit. Nobody picks this ever. This is gonna still be dog shit. Protection of Tier, Aura Mastery also increases all healing received by party or raid members. Yeah, we knew that. It was in the highlights. It's okay. Of course, you're gonna pick this always in raids and probably in Mythic Plus as well. Rule of Law increases the range of your heals 50%. Okay, this is the same thing. What about the value of mastery though? Hold up. Hold up, did they actually remove the increased value of mastery from Rule of Law? Where is this position? It is there. So they straight up removed the increased value of mastery of Lightbringer? Yeah, they straight up removed it. Maybe it's like farther down the tree, but that is doggo. They've nerfed Rule of Law? Okay, let's keep reading. Maybe it's below. Echoing Blessings. Blessing of Freedom increases the movement speed of your target. Okay, so they made like a weaker version of the actual increased movement speed that we already have from the conduit of Echoing Blessings. Blessing of Protection and Blessing of Sacrifice reduce the target's damage taken by 5%. These effects linger for 8 seconds after the blessing ends. What on it? Oh, it was just extra 5% damage reduction from Sac, so it's 35. Sure, you pick this forever, of course. I mean, 35. You would always pick this, I would imagine. Now, what's below it? Because there's a talent choice there, and that's Beacon of Faith of Beacon of Virtue. So you're always going to be pathing here. You're not going to be passing on such a valuable thing. No matter the content, I would imagine. Yeah, the tree is looking like shit right now. The tree is looking like shit. So far. Scintillation, what is this? Where are we? Row 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're here. Holy Shock has a 15% critical strike chance, increased critical strike chance. The actual Holy Shock already retains the 30% increased critical strike chance, so you could make it 45 increased instead of 30. So live is 30, yeah, you could make it 45. Sure, that means that they're really pushing for you to proc infusions and use them. Now, infusion itself, it's still boring. So, okay. What do you want to do? Proc infusions, go through massive holy lights to generate holy power, and then... Where is Crusader Strike, actually? Hold up. What is Crusader Strike? Did I miss that? I gotta go back. Isn't it that? No, Crusader Strike isn't it baseline? Has 2 charges. Yeah, but I want to read what Crusader Strike does. It's not in the base tree, right? Or is it? It's not, right? So, Where's Crusader Strike? Do you just have it? It's not a talent? Aren't all the abilities supposed to be talents? I don't remember seeing it on the base tree, right? It was not here. I'm not being trolled. Because what I want to know is, does it generate holy power? Are they removing the holy power from Crusader Strike? Something's off. Something's off. But it has 2 charges, so it's got to be somewhere. There are base abilities. Okay, there are some base abilities, so I can't really... It will likely generate... Okay, so long... You gotta understand this. So long as Crusader Strike generates holy power, you're never going to not be on melee. Crusader Strike is the main holy power source, and therefore you're always going to be on melee using it. This is weird. They should have just removed Crusader Strike's holy power generation and moved it onto something else if they really just want to get rid of melee holy paladin. This is a mess. But let's keep going. For fuck's sake. Where was I? Yeah, okay, we read this. Yeah, okay, we're here. So we're right here. Divine Revelations. While empowered by Infusion of Light, Flash of Light heals for an additional a bunch of percent, and Holy Light refunds a bunch of mana. But Holy Light still costs mana, so it just costs less mana. Sure. So this is literally the old version of Infusion of Light. This is the old version of Infusion of Light, by the way. While empowered by Infusion of Light, does also the effect of the old Infusion of Light. Increased heal from Flash of Light, and Holy Light has less mana cost. This is literally the old... Am I not wrong? I think I might be wrong with the Holy Light mana cost thing, but I think the old thing was also Holy Light. No, Holy Light was quicker. Holy Light was quicker. That's what it was. So this is boring, but more Infusion of Light. I'm so glad I rerolled. Oh my god, Praxor, this is looking grim. Latadon has a bunch of chances to create a second cone of light immediately after the first. Okay. Sure. That's fine. Little bit of whatever, random stuff. I mean, it's more Latadon is your only source of healing in the raid, which is not what we wanted. But whatever. Untempered Dedication. This is the conduit for Marats. What are they doing? Light of the Martyr damage and healing increased by 8%. Its Sammy's cast effect. They nerfed it? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. They nerfed it! They fucking nerfed it. So they also nerf Untempered Dedication. Why keep Marats? Or not even Marats. We'll see about that. Without Marats, I don't see how you run this. Light of the Martyr, you do not want to use Light of the Martyr unless you just bank on Light of the Martyr. And Marats was the reason you did that. But it lasts 15 seconds though. So, but yeah, Light of the Martyr is not your healing spell. It's your oh shit kind of spell. Okay, so they are making so that there was this talent that made it so that every 3 Lights of Dawn you want to cast a Word of Glory because it's gonna do 45% increased healing, which kind of copies the Marat's playstyle. And then you'll still have a part of the Marat's playstyle conduit being integrated. Well, whatever. Whatever. Crusader's Might, Crusader Strike reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock by 1 or 2 seconds. Yes, okay, they buffed Crusader's Might. Where is it? It is right here. This is good. This is good. But this doesn't make sense. But it is good. Now you can have the old version of Crusader's Might where instead of 1.5 seconds it is... Hold up. It's 1 second now. It used to be 1.5. Am I not tripping? Am I tripping? It used to be 1.5. So now it's 2 seconds. Okay. Alright, okay. Well that's a buff. So the playstyle right now is just looking like old Holy Paladin. Holy Shock, Infusion of Light, use Infusion of Light to generate Holy Power 37 times out of 38, and then just casts Light of Dawn or Words of Glory. That's what's looking like. A very slow playstyle, which it's still going to be keeping you on melee because of Crusader Strike. So, what are, like, remove Holy Power generation from Crusader Strike or we're gonna be melee. That's how it is. Blessing of Summer is making a comeback. It is basically all the blessings. It is just like the same thing as we had. Blessing of Summer increases the chance, but it has a chance to cause extra holy damage. And Blessing of Autumn, cooldowns recover faster. Blessing of Winter, reduce movement speed and deal a little bit of extra frost damage. And Blessing of Spring, increasing healing done and healing received. So it is the same ability. I personally have played with as Night Fae like twice, maybe like one dungeon. I don't even know if I've done a dungeon as Night Fae. It's nerfed to the ground. It was nerfed to the ground. It used to be much better. The CDR used to be much better. And there was a world where we actually was gonna be using this for our own sake of wings. But yeah, I mean at this point I don't see how you don't pick it. Like you pick it, right? It's look at this. You go through Holy Light. You probably pick this shit that increases your healing down with Flash of Light and Holy Light. You pick Beacon, you pick Crusader Strike, and then you just go down here. You gotta pick the... They make you pick the shitty talent where it increases the armor after using Lay on Hands, which is a dead talent. Just to go and pick this, but it's too good to pass on. Like Blessing, you might as well have an entire Covenant ability for free almost. It maybe costs you like, yeah, 2 points to get it, because you're pathing this way anyways. But yeah, whatever. Glimmer of Light is back. Okay, let's read it. Holy Shock leaves a glimmer on the target for 30 seconds. Holy Shock all... Okay, when Holy Shock, all targets with Glimmer are damaged by a little bit and heal for a little bit. You may only have Glimmer on up to 8 targets. Glimmer is still capped. Glimmer is still dog shit. It doesn't do any healing. I hoped they would have added 3 ranks to Glimmer, and they would have made it up to 8, up to 16, and up to 24 or whatever. Make it 30 all the way. Make it 10, 20, 30. And then you could also increase the healing and the damage by each rank. That's what I was hoping for. Or rather, straight up removing the target cap, but that is bad. Glimmer is still a dead talent. It's not a build defining talent, and that's what I don't like. I wish it was still a build defining talent. It was a nice playstyle. It was OP, but it was cool. And now it's just a passive that nobody cares about, really. You can play a little bit around it, but it's like so minor. It is not so minor. It's a lot of healing, but it's not what you would want it to be. Talent calculator seems up. Yeah, I'll check out that later. Most of the middle spells are left and most of the range spells are right. Yeah, we'll see about the placements on the tree in a second whenever we look at the actual screen. So we are right here. Next up, Power of the Silver Hand, Holy Light, and Flash of Light have a chance to grant you the power of the Silver Hand. We knew that. Increasing your healing of your next Holy Shock by 10% and all damage and effective healing you do for the next 10 seconds up to a maximum of a bunch of total health. Yeah, this is sort of bugged, but yeah. It increases the healing you do and the damage you do by a 10%, basically. So you kind of want to be proccing this all the time. So that means that you want to be using a lot of Holy Light and Flash of Light. They have a chance, and we don't know what the chance is, so that's always bad. But whatever, choice between Beacon of Faith or Beacon of Virtue. Beacon of Faith marks a second target. The heals now heal both beacons, but at a 30% reduced effectiveness, just as now. And yeah, Beacon of Virtue is just the same. 30% amount of the healing done. Yep. It is the same, right? 30% of the amount. Oh, because there is a talent that increases the healing transfer through beacons. I was looking at this. It says 30% instead of 50. It's 50% live. But here it's 30 because there is a talent that increases the healing transfer through beacons by 20%. So it's gonna be 50 all the way, anyways. I appreciate the follow very much, and I'll be looking at the tree in a minute. I just want to take the time and read through everything while I mold right now. Oh, Marat's is back. Never mind. Okay, Marat's Dying Breath, Light of Dawn increases the next Light of the Martyr by 10% for each ally healed and allows the Light of the Martyr to heal through Beacon of Light. Damage is over 5 seconds. Okay. Now, I'm not a fan of this. I don't want to be forced to play Marat's, okay? Marat's is a strong playstyle. It is good, but it is not fun. I don't like Morats. I don't like to have to go through an extra GCD every time I use Light of Dawn. Light of Dawn is my spender, my do big healing button, even though it's not satisfactory to push, or rather to press. I don't like it, but it is my let's do healing button. And having to go through a Light of the Martyr every Light of Dawn it is strong because it does a lot of healing, but it is not fun. It's like it slows down the gameplay. I'm so used to it now that it's not making a difference, but I can tell you I don't like it. And having to, if you're forced to play it here, you're forced to play it. For sure, you're forced to play it in raids. This is a must because it's what makes Holy Paladin strong. A lot of beacon transfer, a lot of spot healing, and it's for free because you're going to be using Ladodon for sure. So there you go. We'll see about the choices we can make though in a minute, but I don't like this whatsoever right now. Divine Toll, instantly cast Holy Shock up to 5 targets, and they also make you pick Resonance as always. Let's just look at Resonance for a second. Casting Divine Toll, you instantly cast Holy Shock every 5 seconds for 15 seconds, so you get 3 extra Holy Power. We know that. It is the same as always. Next, Barrier of Faith, they bring back Shock Barrier, that's just how what it is. Imbue a friendly target with the Barrier of Faith, healing them for a bunch of Holy Power. For the next 18 seconds, the Barrier of Faith accumulates 20%. Oh, never mind. It's not exactly Shock Barrier. Okay. So it is a spell. It's not Holy Shock that's applying them. Okay. Barrier of Faith accumulates 20% of effective healing from your Flash of Light and or Holy Light spells for every 6 seconds. The accumulated healing becomes an Absorb Shield. So it's a mix between Shock Barrier and the old Mastery. Okay. Now let's look at this afterwards in the tree, because I gotta look at the cooldown and stuff. But so what's the choice here? Again, they make you pick between. Well, hold up. The light will come out to increase damage and healing by 20% for 20 seconds. Combines with the Avenging Wrath abilities. Huh? So they're buffing us up to 40% increased healing and damage? When you have wings? Because normal wings are already 20, right? It's 20-20 already. And then here you pick 20 more of each. I thought it was going to be just a critical strike, but it's more? It combines, so therefore it increases it. Let's just look at this in a second in the tree. Let's not make assumptions. Avenging Wrath to become the ultimate Crusader. Avenging Crusader. So they are bringing back Avenging Crusader, just as bad as it is. Jesus, make your mind up, Blizzard. Do you want us to go on melee or do you want us to be casters in ranged? Make your goddamn minds up. Yeah, this is the same. Adjustment cooldown, 30% faster, 3 allies. It's still RNG. It's not smart heals. Okay, this is just as bad. I don't want to see this. You're never picking this. You're always going to be picking this for sure. If it's 40% more healing, this is always going to be picked. I hate to see Avenging Crusader. Breaking Dawn increases the range of Ladodon to 40 yards. Okay, so you're always picking this. Release the light within yourself, healing an injured ally within 15 yards. Yep, we know that. That's the ability from Legion. It's nice. It's not game-breaking whatsoever. Not like the artifact ability from Prot Paladins. This is just a nice touch. It doesn't do much healing. It increases the single target healing by a little bit from using Holy Light and Flash of Light. If that's what they're going for, sure. But I don't think this is going to be cool. Let's look at these other things. Liadrin's Fury Unleashed. While Avenging Wrath is active, you gain 1 Holy Power every 4 seconds. This is extremely boring. There's no way so far that I'm seeing... Okay, Awakening is back though. So, you're picking between Awakening and this shit? You're always picking Awakening, bro. 10 seconds as well. Hold up. Okay, it's still 10 seconds. Never mind. I thought it was 8 for some reason. It is the same. Okay, so it's Good Old Awakening, it's back. Or you pick extra Holy Power every 4 seconds. So what is it? Wings is 20 seconds long. So what do you get? You get 5 Holy Power. You get 5 Holy Power, or you get 3 wings every now and then. You get 3 wings every now and then, of course. And then Tears Munificence. Increase the range of Tears Deliverance by 2 yards. Massive, oh my god. What's the range anyways? Let's see. And increasing the healing by 5% and the healing bonus by 5%. Yeah, whatever. It's only 1 point, so it's not 30, it's only 25. Yeah, because I gotta think about other things in my mind. Okay, so let's actually look at the tree now. Let's go to Wowhead. There it is. Calculator. Does this not adapt to the screen size? Not up to a certain point. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure it's inside of it. Yep. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, let's theory craft a build. Let's go. Why not? Always pick Holy Shock. We'll look at this later, but we already talked about this. I don't think anything's changed too much about here. They just fixed the bug and they increase the damage from a talent that we haven't played with, so we don't know. It's just damage. And yeah, we have to play with this in the alpha, which I don't have. So let's go for a rating build first. You would go for Latadon, of course. Then you would pick between Bestow Faith or Unending Light, which increases the holy powers every holy. So this would be, I mean, depends. I mean, I would say this is looking pretty juicy, but Bestow Faith is just as good and it's more holy power generation. It's also a ranged spell. 45% increased healing from a Word of Glory. Does it make it worth? Word of Glory right now does 10k. Latadon does about 15, 16, I don't know, about 17.5k. So this would still do less healing than a Word of Glory, than a Latadon, sorry. Yeah. With that buff, you would still not want to cast Word of Glory. You would still want to cast Latadon in rating, so I don't see why you ever pick that then. You pick Bestow Faith for rating then. So you would have to pick Save at a Light. Your tanks would be better off with that. You would pick Holy Light. You have to pick Infusion. Like you need to go down to Divine Protection. You would pick Light of the Martyr. You would pick Untempered most likely. You would pick Aura Mastery. You have to go down here, so you gotta pick those three. Aura Mastery increases healing the allies receive, so you would pick that as well most likely. Holy Light and Flash of Light healing increased by 10%. I hate to see this, but you have to pick it, so then you also pick the increased beacon transfers. You need that. Crusader Strike, double Crusader's Might. You pick Avenging Crusader's Might. You pick Awakening. There's 2 talents in Awakening. What's the difference between rank 1 and 2? Is it just a chance? It's not showing any difference. But we're already at 25, so we only have 3 points left. We pick Marats. We pick that. We pick Beacon of Faith. We pick Rule of Law. And then what? We have no points left. We have no points left. We've picked Marats. We've picked the increased healing from Awakening, more wings, Aura Mastery. We've given up Light's Hammer. We've picked double Crusader's Might. No Divine Toll, no new talent, which has a 25% cooldown as well. It's a 25-second cooldown. What? That is huge. Let's reread this though. Imbue a friendly target with a Barrier of Light, healing them for a bunch. And for the next 18 seconds, the Barrier of Light accumulates 20% of all the effective healing from your Flash of Light or Holy Light spells. Every 6 seconds, the accumulated healing becomes an Absorb Shield. So this would just be like a tank ability. You throw this on the tank, and that's it. It just does more healing. This would be a rating tree. You would want to pick double beacon in every sense of the word. What are you giving up on? Let's see. Flash of Light heals for an additional 10%. Cast on a friendly target, but you don't want that. That's garbage. Casting Flash of Light or Holy Light on your beacon grants 1 holy power. You never want to do that either, but I mean, I don't want to say more holy power is garbage, but I don't see a world where you want to do that. They did remove the increased healing from Rule of Law. They did indeed remove it. It is gone. The increased mastery value from Rule of Law is gone, so you might not need this in every fight, actually. You might not need that. And therefore, you could pick either Light Hammer or Holy Prism. Let's say you pick Light Hammer for raiding. There's no way you're... Like, the Holy Power generation is here on melee. Let's say that we ignore everything about Infusion of Light, Holy Light, and Flash of Light, and Holy Shock. Let's say we ignore everything and we just use the old playstyle. We have more Holy Power generation from Crusader Smite being buffed to 2 seconds. Judgment giving Holy Power. Let's go down to that thing real quick. Like, what is that? Where was that? Let's just go down there for a second. You would always pick that. You would have to go that way if you want the kick. Okay. They didn't buff this, by the way. They didn't buff this shit. I don't want to go down that way. I don't remember what was there, but let's say pick Blinding Light, the Cleanse. Yep, okay, we pick Wings, Short Sack, we pick Bob. Well, that's the Short Sack. We pick the Replicated War of Glories. This is just increased damage thing. Judgment of Light. Golden Path. You pick Divine Purpose. You then would... Where's the... Judgment generates Holy Power thing? I forgot. Yeah, but I'm doing a raiding build. I'm doing a raiding build now. I'm doing a raiding build. You would take that in Mythic Plus, but not in raids. I'm looking for the talent. I forgot where it was. That, you don't care about that. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. So we're going for a raiding build. I guess we take that. So there's what glory costs. You'd say you want that. You pick that. You pick that, and then you would go here. That, and you pick Sanctified Wrath. We're at 28. Where is Judgment generates 1 Holy Power? Is it gone? Am I tripping? Am I literally tripping? Am I tripping, guys? I hate it so much. It is dog shit. It's absolute dog shit, and not because I think it's dog shit because Blizzard hasn't made up their minds. They don't like the playstyle is still going to be the same, but they are still like trying to make us cast. Like they are divided as ever. Now I need to look at my own video because I don't remember where the Holy Power generation was. Theographed in the tree for red. Okay, I think it's this one. What was that? Yeah, look at that. It's gone. It's gone. Are you seeing it? Is it too small? That point right there, that is Judgment generates 1 Holy Power. It's gone. Okay. I mean, that was very good. That was really good, but that was what got me excited. Now I have points to spare in dogshit talents. Consecration damage, I don't care. This is like, for raiding, this wouldn't matter. You wouldn't pick that. No, you kind of have to pick that, right? But it's speed and avoidance. Fuck that. You pick freedom. Let's say you pick freedom. Why not? Maybe you don't need freedom. Let's assume you don't need freedom. Okay, let's say you do. Why not? Let's say you do. Then you would go that way. Actually, Crusader Strike, you're gonna be pressing a lot of Crusader Strike. Because Judgment doesn't generate Holy Power, so you're gonna be pressing a lot of Crusader Strike. So this is gonna be always on cooldown. You pick that, you pick that, you pick Sanctified Wrath. And then you have 2 points to spare. You probably just go increase mastery with those. If you need Bob, you pick Bob. If you need Magic Bob, you pick Magic Bob. You just take 1 point away from this. These 2 talents were Doggo. Depending on Touch of Light and how strong that is, you could do this instead and pick Touch of Light. But this would be the rating tree. This would be the rating tree right here, 100%. No questions. Oh, maybe this is critical strike chance actually. Oh, hold up. Critical strike chance would be huge. So that could be a thing you might pick. Then you would do this. No, you can't do that. Okay, so yeah. But the other one would be the one you pick. But so we have no Holy Power from Judgment. So what I was thinking about is Crusader Strike is going to be reducing the cooldown of Holy Shock by 2 seconds, meaning it's stronger than it's been in the past. It used to be 1.5 seconds, now it's 2 seconds. So you have more Holy Shocks than ever. Crusader Strike is more valuable than ever. And therefore you generate more Holy Power from being in melee than ever. Because you want to be Crusader Striking as often as possible to generate Holy Shocks, to use Holy Shock for more healing and more Holy Power generation. And then you would want to spend that on Lights of Dawn for raiding, because it's your main healing ability. No matter how much they buff Holy Light and Flash of Light, it doesn't matter. They're still not doing good healing. There's no synergy with them besides, like, Flash of Light has less cost, less mana cost. Who cares about that? And 1 Holy Power, unless Holy Light does more healing, they didn't even include the splash healing conduit from Holy Light. Why wouldn't they? If they are going for casting more Holy Lights, I don't understand. I don't understand. Literally trying to make an exact copy of Legion Paladin and an exact copy of Shadowlands Paladin in one street. Yep, they did, and they failed because Legion Paladin was fun because of other reasons. And now they have Marats, which is too good to pass on for raiding. You're gonna be using Ladadon no matter what. It's your main spender, does the most healing. Then you go and you pick Marats because you're gonna be doing fat Lights of the Martyr with this. The conduit is just the same. It's actually buffed, so it's better. Actually, no, it's nerfed. It used to be 10. Now it's 8. It's a little bit of a nerf, but it's still good enough. And Marats is doing just the same. So there is no 2 sets, so there's no fat Lights of the Martyr with 100% increased value. But it's 50%. It's just as good as it was in Sanctum, and we still use Marats in Sanctum. So that's that. I don't know about the decision of passing out on Divine Toe, but we'll have to look at that. This is insane. Let me look at this though. Wings, increased healing and damage done by 20. The critical strike thing is gone. Okay, so this literally makes Wings 40% increased damage and healing. 40%, so it's even better than it was before. So you need to go here. I mean, there's no world where you were never gonna go here, but now it's even better. And you get this shit where Infusion of Light also heals more and refunds mana. Now you will be using Infusion of Light now, if you can spare a global. Because you're also gonna be having like reduced mana cost, better healing effect from Flash of Light. Maybe you go for Flash of Light here and there. You still pick Awakening, you still pick Divine Purpose, so it's the same slot machine playstyle. There's no way you pick Liadrin's Fury, that's so bad. I don't know about this one. This is like, does your tank need a fuckload of healing? Yes, then pick this, but it's only Flash of Light and Holy Light. I think it's gonna fall down to the balancing of things. Now, in this rating build, I passed on a bunch of things. I passed on Holy Shock has 7% increased additional critical strike chance. This is just a little bit of Infusion of Life uptime, and it's more healing as well, but Holy Shock's healing is so low that it doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. We passed on Glimmer, which probably wouldn't be the wisest choice. I think you would probably pick this. Yeah, I think you still pick that. We gotta make points for that somehow, but I don't think there is any. Yeah, you're passing out on Double Beacon. Maybe you don't pick Double Beacon then, and you go Glimmer, but that's just 1 point. So you don't pick double beacon, you don't pick... That's 3 points. That's exactly what you would do then. If you need rate healing, you would then give up that beacon. You would put a point there. Put a point there. Make sure it doesn't reset the tree. Word of Glory and Ladodon healing increased by 5%. How do you pass on that, man? So you give up Light's Hammer to pick Glimmer. You can't pass on this. Ladodon is your entire healing is Ladodon. Steel is gonna be. That's what it is. It's still gonna be your entire healing. Save Vitalite. I wish this was not here. I wish this didn't exist. You need Marads. It's a lot of healing. Bestow Faith or the other one. I reset the tree. Is there no there's no way of going back. Unending Light still doesn't justify using a Word of Glory. It's still going to be doing less healing than a Ladodon would do. With the increased healing down there, 45%. So whatever, you would still be using Ladodon in raids. And what did I miss on here? Yeah, this resets, so that would be that, and that would be Awakening. I don't know what the 2 points are for, man. Did we remove this? Awakening. Word of Glory has a 15%. So I don't know what the 2 points are. Maybe that's just a bug. Maybe this is 1 point, and maybe this is 1 point, because this doesn't increase every time I put a point into it. So a big question I have there. We could have more points to spare if that was not the case. Otherwise, this resets, so I lost some other stuff. What did I lose? Oh, yeah, I lost this. And I also lost something else. I mean, what did I lose? I mean, if we could have that, that would be insane. Divine Toll, Insane Holy Power Generation, Glimmer, a lot of Holy Shocks, Crusader Smite, a lot of Holy Shocks. Insane Wings, Awakening, and Divine Purpose, just as it used to be. Lights of Dawn. Wow, we lost the Word of Glory and Light of Dawn increased healing, which is worth. I think that is worth giving up. Maybe not. Is it worth giving up that for Divine Toll? Probably yeah. Probably yeah. Now, if we assume this is not 2 points, and we pick that. I'm thinking it's gonna be 2 points, and it's gonna be like less amount of chance of proccing Avenging Wrath, and then the second like 7.5% and 15%. So you would pick both points, and this would be every 4 seconds or every 8 seconds, or rather every 8 seconds or every 4 seconds, which doesn't make sense. Every 8 seconds actually. That's why I don't see how this is.
Oh shit!
I don't see how this is 2 points. Let's just assume it's 1. So then we will pick this increase Holy Light. Amount of healing down by Holy Light, or rather Ladodon, sorry, Ladodon. And what did we pass on? We passed on that dog shit. We passed on Light's Hammer. I think it's worth it for Divine Toll. We passed on this and Blessing of Summer. I hate the fact that Night Fae ability is back. Nobody ever used it. It wasn't impactful. It was nerfed to the ground. It was boring. And that's a good question. But do you think one could build a range healer build? No. Nope. You could build it, but it would not be the correct playstyle. I don't think so. I still think that with the buffs to Crusader Smite, we are more melee than ever. You hear me right? More melee than ever. So this is like the opposite of what they are actually trying to do. And then, okay, we passed on Blessing of Summer. We passed on this new weird talent. We passed on Resonance. Resonance is not that strong. This weird talent could be good, but who knows? It's just a bunch of tank healing. If tanks are good enough to not die, then you can spare that. You need to go this way for sure. You pick. We would be getting this, which would just make Infusion better, but if you think like it doesn't exist, this is a waste of 3 points. If you play as if Infusion didn't exist, which is what I'm still thinking is going to happen, sorry. I just drink some water. Passing on Echoing Blessings, doesn't matter. You're passing on Double Beacon and Beacon of Virtue. Terrible decision. But if you don't, like, the other option would be to give up Crusader Smite or give up Divine Toll and Glimmer for another beacon. So you could reduce your rate healing a lot and then pick Double Beacon, which is what we're doing right now. Weren't they gonna be returning Vanquisher's Hammer? Where is Vanquisher's Hammer? It was data mined. I'd rather have Vanquisher's Hammer than Night Fate, dude. Whatever. And then Lardon range has a chance to create a second cone of light. 10% chance. I mean, it is good for raiding, but it's just a 10% chance. It's really low. The power of the Silver Hand, Infusion of Light stuff, we don't care about it. Tears Deliverance, it's really small amounts of healing, but we'll talk about this in the Mythic Plus build. For now, it's just raiding build. And then Breaking Dawn, range of Light down to 40 yards. If you need this, you might be able to path to it, but you don't need it. Like, you don't need this. We've played without this forever. You can do it without it. So I'm thinking this is what the tree is going to look like for raiding. You pick Marats, you pick extra Holy Power generation, you still ignore Infusion of Light, it doesn't exist. You go on melee, you whack the boss, you use a lot of Holy Shocks with the increased cooldown reduction from Crusader Smite. You proc a lot of Glimmers, you use Divine Tolls, and you just use all your Holy Power in Lights of Dawn, and then you use Marats. That's it. That's just as it used to be. It's basically the way we play right now as Kyrian Holy Paladin with Glimmer, and we just have more Holy Shocks. That's the build. I think that's the build. Where do I reset this? Reset all. Reset all, okay. Now let's say we do a caster build. Let's say we do a caster build. For all intents and purposes, this is a caster build. So Holy Shock from Infusion of Light, Holy Light, Infusion of Light, we grab our personal, we gotta get this because Holy Light and Flash of Light have increased amounts of healing done. Increased transfer from beacons, you're always gonna pick that. And at this point, you have no other choice besides picking Light of Dawn, which I hate. But okay, we're gonna pick it anyways. Then we go Aura Mastery 100%. We go the increased thing from Infusion of Light because you're gonna be casting, so this is good. You wanna cast more stuff like that. We're not gonna be Crusader Striking ever because we're casters, so we ignore that side. Flash of Light heals for an additional amount of time when cast on a target affected by your beacon. Let's say you're gonna be healing your beacon target to generate Holy Power, so you do that. And then casting Flash of Light or Holy Light on your beacon grants 1 Holy Power, so you want that. Then Aura Mastery would increase the healing done onto your party members, and you would also pick Bestow Faith. It's a range ability, so why not? Let's say you're ranged, so then you pick Rule of Law to reach everybody for sure. And if you are standing in range, then what you would do is you would pick this Light of Dawn Conduit thing. Then you would probably go... You would still want to path to Murad, so you would still want to do that. Because your healing would be using Flash of Light and Holy Light all the time with a lot of Holy Shocks. And then you would then use your Holy Power onto Lights of Dawn. Let's say we're still raiding. We're still talking about raiding because you wouldn't really pick Murads on Mythic Plus. So if this was the case, you would go and pick this, because it would increase the, well, it would just give you a big buff every time you use Holy Light or Flash of Light. You have a chance to get a big buff. And then you would still pick this. There's no way you pass on that. You would pick this. There's no way you pass on that. You probably pick the increased range as a range Holy Paladin from Light of Dawn. But still, this is like a niche pick. I don't think you need that. Tears Deliverance, I don't think you need that either. It's not gonna do that much healing. So you are probably better off going somewhere else. You only have 4 points left at this point, so we're ignoring this side. We could go Light's Hammer. We could go Echoing Blessings and another beacon. That would be better. If you were raid healing, you would probably pick that. But at this point, since you are not picking Crusader Smite, you're not gonna be Holy Shocking that much. Therefore, your Glimmer of Light is gonna be proccing less. It makes sense not to pick it. Now, Infusion of Light has to be procced from using Holy Shock. And therefore, not picking Crusader Smite is weird. Oh, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you want to proc Infusions so that you have a reason to use Flash of Light and Holy Light. And then the only way of making Infusion, Holy Light and Flash of Light better spells is Power of the Silver Hand. Is the only thing that makes those two spells actually worth using for the sake of doing, like, not worth using, like a buff that makes them better. This is the only thing that does them better. Holy Light and Flash of Light have a chance to grant the power of a Silver Hand, increasing the healing of your next Holy Shock by 10%, and all damage and effective healing you do for the next seconds up to a maximum of, let's say, I think it was 10% it said before on the blue post. So this is the only thing that's making your Flash of Light and Holy Light do more healing, besides this other infusion talent that makes Flash of Light do more healing, and the natural infusion that we already had. So they're not that strong by themselves. Now the holy power you generate, it's always going to be going, like the way it looks is you're always going to be using the Infusion of Light onto a Holy Light. So you use, whenever you get a proc, you will use the Holy Light for the increased the extra holy power. Then you use all your holy power into Light of Dawn because it's the best thing you can do for doing a lot of healing in raids. Then you would not be passing on to Marats because it's such a good spell to do more healing in raids. And therefore, that's what you would do. You would generate Infusion of Lights with Holy Shock. You would use your procs of Infusion with onto Holy Lights, and then you would just probably generate Holy Power through spamming Flash of Light into the tank. Because how else do you generate Holy Power? You don't. You could swap beacons around. I guess. You could like swap the second beacon around and like, but that's so clunky. Like otherwise you would be using your Flash of Light like randomly, but you wouldn't be generating any holy power. So that would be very mana inefficient. You wouldn't do much healing with it either. And your only ways of generating holy power would be Bestow Faith, Holy Shock, and the Infusion of Light with Holy Lights. Or spamming Flash of Light onto the beacon target. It just sounds terrible. It just sounds terrible all over the place. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of downtime, or you're going to be feeling so bad for spamming Flash of Light onto the beacon. And in this case, we're passing on Tears Deliverance. It's nice, but it's not good. Like I just said, it's a good flavor spell, but it's not good. Like it's not a game-breaking spell by any means. It does a little bit of healing. It could be buffed and do a lot of healing. Actually, I don't really remember how much healing did it do on your breakdown. If it does a lot, maybe it's good. But this is a priority target kind of thing where you just want to heal a lot the tank. And you use this on that specific target so they'd receive the increased healing from you. It was very nice whenever we had Aura of Sacrifice, which they didn't bring back. So this is doggo. You don't really need this. You could still use Light of Dawn onto the ranged players. However, your mastery is still, the closer you are to your allies, the more healing you do. So in a way, you kind of just want to be in melee, but let's just say you're in ranged, because this is a ranged build, whatever, you just want to be casting. You could still use Light of Dawn onto your allies, onto your ranged allies, but they could naturally be spread out like ranged stars, so therefore picking this would have a lot of value. If you were to do that, you could give up a point on like this and then pick that. So you do less increased healing during Aura Mastery. This is not a massive buff, honestly. The increased healing during Aura Mastery is nice, but I don't think this is massively required. But if you go Virtue, nothing changes. You just go Virtue. That's it. Just go Virtue. It's just that simple. If you want to go Virtue, you can go Virtue. If you want to go single target, you can go single target. Now, if you wanted to go Virtue for the extra targets you can generate Holy Power on, sure. That works as well. However, Virtue is really mana inefficient. Virtue is actually 10% of your base mana. And you want to be spamming Flash of Lights to generate Holy Power onto your beacon targets? That sounds like a hell of a lot of mana to sustain. When you could just keep on Beacon of Faith and do a lot of free healing for nothing. So this is like a good all-Legion playstyle for Holy Paladins without anything of what made the spec fun. Which was Aura of Sacrifice, and honestly, I don't remember what the game was like. I didn't play the version of Legion Holy Paladin before. So Aura of Sacrifice was not always this big raid healing cooldown. Before the last patch of Legion, it was something else. It was like a different Devo. It was a different version of Devotion Aura, where instead of reducing damage, it redirected it to you for like a higher amount that Devotion aura would. But it didn't have the like spread out the healing kind of thing. So I don't know what that version was like, or what the big do more healing buttons were. So it just seems like that version of the old Legion Paladin that I remember, without the oomph button that was Aura of Sacrifice. So this doesn't really, it's not that strong, so I don't feel bad passing on it. You don't want Crusader Strike, so that's that. Passing on Light's Hammer is whatever. It's good healing, but let's just say we pass on it. We could do this, and we could pass on that shit, and then you would probably do this. You would probably not pick this, and then just pick that. Why, like, 10% increased healing during 8 seconds? You don't need that. That's fine, but you don't need that. You'd rather pick that. Light's Hammer does a lot of healing. I mean, maybe you would, but that depends on the fight. Maybe you just really want to clutch, like you pair up your Aura Mastery with a lot of healing because there's something really nasty happening. I don't know. Could be situational. Like, the idea of the Paladin tree, or rather the trees as a whole, is for them to be something you can switch around depending on the fight really comfortably. So there's nothing that's like a set on stone decision here. It's really all dependent on the situation. We are passing on this though. So you probably would rather pick that. Like, Latadon doing 5% increased healing is huge. It's massive. And then we also passing on this dog shit thing. You're passing on Blessing of Summer. I don't care. You're passing on Holy Shock increased critical strike chance, which is bad because you don't generate as many infusions, which means you don't generate as many holy powers. But let's just say it's not that big of a deal. This makes much more sense being on this side of the tree, honestly. This makes much more sense of being on this side of the tree. If they want you to use infusions, make this be part of the side of the tree where you want to go for infusions. And then you would also pass on Glimmer. Fine, you're not going for more Holy Shocks because you're not picking Crusader Smite, so whatever. Glimmer would do some healing, but not too much. You're passing on this new ability, which I don't think it's that exciting. It's only on a single target, 25%, 25-second cooldown, applies healing absorbs. It would be nice, but whatever. And you're passing on Divine Toll, which is not good, but there's no way you can get all the way down there. So this would be like the caster build, I would say, for rating. Honestly, looks bad. I don't like it. I think the melee playstyle being a thing on this side of the tree just makes this other build like not existent, because the holy power generation from this side of the tree is bigger because of this, and therefore you're gonna get more Lights of Dawn out of playing this side of the tree, and therefore you're gonna be on melee. Plain and simple. Now, that being said, you also have Crusader Strike, even if you're going for a range build, so like you could potentially be casting stuff while on melee, because you're gonna be Crusader Striking during the gaps. Instead of just filling in with Flash of Lights onto beacon targets to generate holy power, you could just go for Crusader Strikes. But you haven't picked the Crusader Strike has 2 charges, so that would give you some leeway to maybe use some more casts if you feel like it. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I thought it was gonna be the opposite. I thought it was gonna be when Heliax told me it looks like it's caster heavy, I thought it was gonna be just caster stuff, but the fact they kept Crusader Strike Holy Power Generation makes no sense. If it was like ranged healer only, I would be happier, because at least they made up their minds, and then they could make cool stuff for ranged builds. They could make cool stuff for Holy Light, for Flash of Light, for Infusion of Light. They could make new talents, but that's too much asking. They're not gonna make like, the new talents they make are literally rehashed things that they already existed. Like, this is like the All Mastery and Shock Barrier both cooked into a new talent. They brought back a talent that was okay, but nothing too crazy. Alright, let's now think about a Mythic Plus build, okay? Now, this is looking grim for Mythic Plus, but let's just do it. So you have to pick the following things. You can't go lower at this point. You're never casting Lancedon, so you're picking that. Increase beacon transfer, you pick this from our Holy Crusader Strikes rather. You would probably pick that because of the Blessing of Summer. Critical strikes from Holy Shock. Sure, you would pick that. You have to pick this no matter what. There's no choice there. Don't want that. Don't want that. What else? We're at 17. We're at 17. Let's say we pick Light's Hammer. I don't want to pick any of this. I don't want to play Marats. I don't want to be casting Lights of Dawn, so I don't care about Marats. I'd rather not pick Save by the Light. I don't care about... Well, I kind of care about this, honestly. Echoing Blessings. Let's just say we pick this two, this. We pick that, and we pick that. Assuming that's still 1 point, which that's what I'm assuming it is. We're at 28. We didn't pick this yet. I don't think there's a reason to pick this. It's not strong enough. We don't pick anything of Marats. We're picking Glimmer. We could even pick Double Beacon and Glimmer. Or Virtue, but you would still pick Double Beacon for Mythic Plus. So we're getting the buffs for our allies. Blessing of Summer is a lot of damage to pass on. I think this makes us more desirable on Mythic Plus, honestly. Divine Toll being back, I don't mind it. Like, Kieran is not bad in any sense, so why not? Is there anything you can give up on? You can pass on here? No. There's nothing you can pass on. So you couldn't really pick Resonance, but it's fine. Resonance is not too strong. You need this, and we are still assuming this is 1 point. If this was 2 points, that would make things very awkward. That would make things very awkward. This could be like 2 points then. And then you could still pick that. You're passing on Rule of Law. You're passing on Holy Power Generation from using Flash of Light and Holy Light on the beacon. You're passing on increased healing from Flash of Light when cast on the beacon target. That's ideal. You don't want that either. Aura Mastery doesn't matter that much. It doesn't matter that much in raids. It matters even less in Mythic Plus then. Rule of Law, Light of Dawn Replication. You don't care about Infusion, so this is Doggo. Although, you get 10% increased damage after a Holy Light or a Flash of Light, which is very good, but you still don't really want to cast Holy Light or Flash of Light. Like this is Doggo. You're not going this way. You're not going this way. You're not going this way. You're probably picking Double Beacon, and then you're passing on Resonance. I think that's the build. I think this is the Mythic Plus build. That's it. There's no more to it. This is probably the Mythic Plus build. Holy Shock, Holy Light, increased healing from Holy Light and Flash of Light. You can't really pass on that. Increased healing transfer from the beacons. This is not a buff. This is just getting back the 50% transfer through beacons. Otherwise, it's only 30. Then Crusader Strike or rather 2 charges of Crusader Strike and reduce cooldown of better Crusader Smites rather. So good all Crusader Smite, a lot of Holy Power dumping. You can pick Crusader Smite and Light Hammer, which you can't do that right now. So that's fine. That's cool. You can pick up Bestow Faith. You can literally pick up the entire first row of Paladins right now. You can have Light's Hammer, Bestow Faith, and Crusader Smite. Or you could choose to go with that, but you would never go with that because that's only good if you're using a lot of Light of Dawn, which you're not going to be doing in Mythic Plus. So, without the 4 set, you're never going to be using Light of Dawn, as it used to be before having the 4 set. Yeah. That is very bad, but that I want to see this talent removed. Like, this talent has to go right now. This is so bad. Get rid of this now. And then, yeah, Glimmer, free healing, Divine Toll, good old Kyrian playstyle. I mean, we loved Kyrian playstyle. Everybody wants to play Kyrian, but they are forced to play Necro or Benthir because Necro Hammer or Ashen were stronger. Now there's none of those, so you just play Kyrian. I don't mind it, honestly. I think it's fine. I like Kyrian. Everybody likes Kyrian. Resonance, as I already said, it's not that good. It's okay, but it's only 3 extra Holy Shocks. Or 3 extra Holy Powers, so whatever. We can pass on that if we'd rather pick a Beacon, right? And then we get 40% extra healing and damage done with Wings. If I'm reading this correctly, this is a massive buff to Holy Paladin. And then, yeah, Word of Glory, doing the good old things with Awakening and Light it on as well. Infusion. I mean, why not? I mean, this is fine. Okay, this is actually fine. Like light, Flash of Light healing for an additional 15%. This used to be the old Infusion, and this being back for Mythic Plus is not bad. It's not a great buff, but this is good. Like Flash of Light is gonna do more healing. Sure, I'll take that. I'll take that. Yo, what up, Jericho? Welcome. We've been looking at it for a while. At this point, we're pretty much done, honestly. And we went this side simply because we wanted to pick double beacon and because we had to, because there was no other option. You need to spend enough points up here and up here to be able to get there. We go here because increased healing from Word of Glory, so we're gonna be using a lot of Word of Glory Mythic Plus. We pick that. Echoing Blessings also increases the damage reduction from sack, and you have a 1 minute sack, which you're gonna be picking in Mythic Plus for sure. So sack is gonna be 35% reduced damage taken every time. Every 1 minute, 35% reduced damage taken. That's a massive external for tanks. That is a massive external. The increased movement speed is whatever. How much cooldown with this talent with Sacrifice of the Just? Blessing of Sacrifice goes down to 1 minute. So that is pretty good. It's not game breaking, but that's pretty good. And you still have the choice between Beacon of Faith and Beacon of Virtue, but you would always pick Beacon of Faith in Mythic Plus, I would imagine. I would imagine so. One thing that I was thinking about is, how does this work with Focal Light? Like, increased Beacon of Light transfers an additional 20% of the amount healed. And this has the 30% reduced effectiveness. I'm guessing this just evens out to what it is now. So these two talents combined just make the healing transfer through Beacon just as good as it used to be. Because if you look at Beacon of Virtue, it has a 30% healing transfer instead of a 50% like it has in live servers. And therefore, it just seems like it's evening out with the extra 20% from this. And yeah, the things we passed on just seems like this is gonna be the Mythic Plus tree. Like, no questions. Situations like last boss Plagueful is worth going Virtue? Yes and no. Yes and no. Beacon of Virtue can be clunky. The tank damage in the last boss on Plagueful is huge. So without Beacon, your tank has a much worse time. And it makes you so that you have to heal him a lot more. And the Beacon of Light, or rather Beacon of Faith, just makes you so that instead of healing 4 targets, you have to only heal 3 for the most part. Which is a huge buff. Also it costs less mana. I still think you go Beacon of Faith all the time. So let's look back at the normal Paladin tree, because we saw that the Holy Power generation from Judgment is gone, which is decimating. I was so excited for that, and it's gone. At least for Holy. I don't know if it's gonna be there for Prot. I doubt it, because of course the Paladin tree is supposed to be the same for everything. So right now Paladins are in shambles. Like, this is bad. This is really bad. But let's just think about a Mythic Plus build for the normal Paladin tree. Go Hammer of Hell, of course. You gotta go down the middle 100% of the time. Blinding Light, Cleanse Toxins. You gotta pick this so you can go down here. Increase Haste, you pick the kick. Damage from Holy Power spending abilities increase, so you do more damage with Shield of the Righteous. Then you would pick Wings, you would pick Sack, you would pick Short Sack. Pop, you would pick Pop. You would have to pick this shit, so Judgment causes your next damage ability to do increased damage, so you can then pick Divine Purpose. We still need to spend talent points here, so probably Judgment of Light. Increase critical strike chance, so you would pick that. Pick Wings, reduce cooldown. Unbreakable Spirit. Sanctify Wrath is really huge. Judgment generates 1 additional Holy Power, meaning... How the fuck? Okay, holy shit. So it still says that Judgment generates 1 additional Holy Power. However, they removed the Holy Power generation from Judgment? What the fuck? This has to be bugged. Like Fall 19. Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit, this is from back in Season 1. God damn, how you doing, man? God damn, long time no see. What a throwback. Okay, you would pick one of these for sure. Let's say you pick Magic Bob. I'm good. Nice to know, man. Nice to know. I'm doing good as well. Just molding because the talent trees are looking a bit dark, but we're doing good. Let's say we don't go this way. Although we probably do. Water Glory replicating stuff increased. Yeah, you would probably go here. But then you give up Mad Paragon. I don't know about that one. Golden Path is really minor. Consecration damage increase. Increase holy damage taken. And then you would pick Mad Paragon. And the replication thing. Or maybe you could pick, you could maybe like give up, if you don't need Magic Bob or Bob, you could then potentially give up this for the flare up thing from Consecration, so more damage from that. Could give up something for Turn Evil, like Consecration damage for Turn Evil, you don't want to pick that ever. Horse having 2 charges or lesser cooldown, whatever. Freedom you could pick if you need it, but if you don't need it, you'd rather not pick it. Because if you must pick freedom, then you pick it, but you don't really need a freedom always. You don't always need it. So they changed the position of this as well, of Cleanse Toxins. They made it much more accessible. Now this being critical strike chance, you don't want to pass on that. That's really good. And the replication of Word of Glory is more healing. That's exactly what you want for Mythic Plus. I am not sure about passing on increased primary stat from Crusader Strike. That's a lot of primary stat you're passing on. But it's a 3-point talent. How much is it if you get all those? It doesn't scale. So I'm assuming it's like the full amount if you put all the points into it. So yeah, you could give up this and then pick freedom, and then I reset my goddamn tree. Fuck. Oh yeah. But then you would be passing on accessing the increased critical strike. You would be giving up passing on Judgment of Light. Passing Judgment of Light is not a good idea. You could also give up Unbreakable Spirit, but more of your own personal is insane for Mythic Plus. And I'm assuming you're picking up either of these two all the time, honestly. Depending on the scaling, but there's no need to bop in this one. Yeah. You would like give up this spell. You could give up bop, but then if you don't pick this spell, you don't pick Light's Hammer, or you don't pick Judgment of Light. You don't pick Golden Path. You don't pick the increased critical strike chance either. So the other options. Because you need to spend, like, how many points do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you need 8 up here. So then you would have to... You could give something up, but you can't really give anything up. Because you gotta go down every way that you are trying to go through. You could potentially give up this. Like, that's the thing. You could potentially give it up and still have 9 points. If I didn't miscount, that's 5, 6, 7, 8... Yeah, so you could still potentially give it up and go down. No, you don't give up this spell. You just give up this spell for poisons and diseases. You still have this spell as a baseline ability. You give up this spell for poisons and diseases. Now, we don't know which dungeons those are going to be, but you could potentially do this. Like, this is something you're going to be doing all the time. Giving that up and then picking something else. But... So if you do give that up, you can't access this side of the tree. Which means you have 8 points. Let's say you don't pick this, so you have 8 points only up here. You need 20. So we would be losing... Okay, how many do we have here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's exactly... That would be exactly... 20 if we lose that. Therefore this point would disappear, So you would have to spend one more point somewhere so that you could keep on going down. Otherwise, if I remove this is gonna reset now because I don't have enough points here. Because I lose 1 and 2, it's gonna be 19 down here, and therefore it's gonna reset. So you would need to like pick this, so then you can give up this without resetting the tree. Yeah. Because the only two options you would have besides picking the spell would be to then pick these two shits. That is so bad. If I give up this, I'm resetting the tree. That's the thing. I need to pick that or that. You get that? I need to pick either the spell or either of those two. Because the rest I'm picking for sure. But if I don't pick those, either of those three, I can't go down. So the choice here is really between Cleanse Toxins and these two shits. Like increased range when you're on the horse, which is whatever. Or Turn Evil, which is really situational. So you just pick the Dispel or... What is this? This is so bad. This is terrible. Oh my god. That is so bad. Jesus. After image, it seems like great emo. After 20 power spent, you get 1 empowered single heal. Yeah. But what are you gonna be picking instead? It is good. I mean, it's more healing for the main source of your healing in Mythic Plus. Your other choices are Golden Path. Like let's put this back as it was. Now you have to go one side here. I was thinking wrong thing before. So you have 2 points to spare, and the other thing I was doing was that you could do this instead and pick that and that. Or you could like not pick the increased thing with the additional tick and you would have 1 point. Oh, did I miss Mad Paragon? Yeah, I missed Mad Paragon. So this could be the thing. This could be what you do. If you give up that, then what? You could pick Bob or like shorter Bob or Magic Bob. You could pick double charge of horse. You could pick some more healing on that, some critical strike. None of the choices seem too meaningful, honestly. It seems like there's choices that are very limiting in the tree, where you are forced to pick stuff that is really whatever, really situational. None of them really seem like exciting choices in the middle of a tree. Yeah, you would probably pick Spell Warding, but do you need a magic immunity all the time? Like, that's also another thing that you would really base on the dungeon. How many times do you use Bop in a dungeon? Not many. Like, there's not that many situations where you think like, oh, I need a buff for this. And even if you do, there's so many situations where you can get away without using it. Like first boss on Sanguine Depths, you might need it, but you might not. Like a male boss in Streets, you could use it, but you could also not and just heal through it. So you don't really require it. No, there's no Ashen, there is no Vanquisher's Hammer. There is Blessing of Summer, or basically all the Night Fae abilities are back. Yeah, it's a rotation. It's all the different blessings. It just says Blessing of Summer, but it's actually the whole thing. I don't know, man. Oh. You're never picking that for more Mastery Mythic Plus. This is situational. This is okay, but it's like kind of minor. I mean, you probably would pick both of these before picking this. Yeah, you would pick both of these before ever picking this. And then you just wouldn't have 2 charges of horse and shorter horse, whatever. We don't really care about that too much. Extra range when you're on the horse for your Crusader Strike, whatever. And you have to be on Crusader Aura as well? Oh, under the effects of Crusader Aura. Okay, so it's both when you're mounted or under the effects of Crusader. So whenever you're mounted, your Crusader Strike has higher range as well as your Hodge. Whatever. Turn Evil, situational as fuck. And you're giving up the after image. I don't know, man. Like the after image, it's just a matter of which one is better. Is Golden Path better or is the after image better? both are kind of minor. You just pick either. I don't think you're gonna ever go down here. Maybe you put 1 point into, or some points into Aspiration of Divinity because it's more main stat from using Crusader Strike, which you're gonna be doing all the time. And yeah, I mean, here you're giving a lot of damage and healing as well as reduced damage taken. But that's 3 points, right? That's 3 points here, then 1 point here, then 1 point here. Or how many other points was there? Yeah, that's 1 point. Then your whole power spend abilities deal 10% increased damage and healing, and a Dusk of Armor increased by 2%. So yeah, you don't really want to go there. You don't really want to go there. It's just not worth all the 3 points here. Giving up the extra damage. So this would be like a safer, like as right now when you are like struggling healing Mythic Plus, I would say play Shadowbreakers. In Dragonflight, instead of that, what I would say is don't pick Mad Paragon and instead do that. And maybe give up Consecration damage and do that. That's what I would tell you to do. Exactly that. Maybe you could also give up more damage here and pick Golden Path. But that would be my recommendation. It's like a little bit more damage versus a little bit more healing. Also, Mad Paragon is more healing as well because of Wings Uptime. So, yeah. It is worth, but that's like at 3 stacks. What I'm thinking is the ability is not scaling properly in the tooltip. So no matter how many points I put into it, it's always saying 158. So what I'm thinking, it's all 3 points is 158, which is a lot. It's a lot of main stat. So that's why I'm conflicted about it. I really don't know too much about it. Could be a must. Could be a must. Like, that's a lot of healing. That's a lot of damage. Its main stat is so strong. So, but to get it, you're passing on a lot of things because there's a lot of restrictions. Like if the restrictions to go down on the tree, like the 8 points require and 20 points require, were not a thing, you would be able to like then give up things like I don't really want to get cleanse toxins here, for example. And therefore, you could then spare these 2 points, and then you could go there. But as it is right now, you can't. Because you need to either, if you give up this, in order to go down, you would have to pick this, either of these. Because even if you pick both of this, I think it was like that. Let me just redo this all up. If you wanted to give this up, then you couldn't go there, because then you would have to pick one more and then you could go down. So you would have to pick either of those. Yeah, so that's the cock block. It's either of those 3 that are the cock block. You can't pick the damage from here and also go full on this way. We gave up stuff here in the middle, so it's not accurate, but yeah, you couldn't really go down ham here because of that. But you could do this. You could potentially pick one of these dogshit things and then pick a bunch of this for more main stat, but then you're giving up the Dispel and you're giving up Judgment of Light. Is it worth it? Probably. I don't know. Judgment of Light is a lot of healing. I don't know if like 158 divided by 3 multiplied by 2, like 2/3 of that buff is gonna be enough. If it is 158 times 3, maybe, but I don't know what the numbers are going to look like in Dragonflight anyways. Like 158 is a lot for Shadowland standards, but maybe it's not that much for Dragonflight, so who knows. Yeah, a lot of the Martyr build is there too. I already talked about all of this. I'm going to make videos on different segments of this whole stream. So we'll talk about the first impressions, we'll talk about like the rating build, we'll talk about the Mythic Plus build, we'll talk about other stuff. So I'll try and segment this into videos, because otherwise it's gonna be a fucking hour-long video. Maybe I can just make a whole-ass video, who cares, but yeah. Maybe I just go the lazy route and make a 1-hour video. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all I have to say about the tree, honestly. Like, that's all I really have to add about it. I don't like it. I don't like the direction they took. I don't think it's like it's not as good as it could have been. But yeah, I'm disappointed. Like the fact they are really trying to push the caster possibility even more without actually making it fun or making anything special for it, besides bringing back Tears Deliverance, which you wouldn't pick either way. You wouldn't pick this either way. I don't think so. And you probably would not pick this either way. So the new stuff they brought is not that exciting. The new things that make like casting worth it, like Power of the Silver Hand and the old version of Infusion being back, they don't make Infusion that strong. And when you go full on Infusions, you're giving up Crusader Strike because you can't get there. And if you are thinking about like a full-on caster, you're not using Crusader Strike anyway, so it seems that they are giving up a lot of what Holy Paladin could be for the sake of keeping up the dichotomy of being a caster versus being a melee alive. And it's just a hindrance to what Holy Paladin could be. That is my definitive sentence. Like, Blizzard need to make up their goddamn mind and not be afraid of choosing either melee or ranged, and then go full on one of them, not both, one of them. Otherwise, like, Holy Paladin is gonna be very watered down, it's gonna be lame, it's gonna be not either too great on one side nor too great on the other one. It's just gonna be a little bit of an in the middle sort of thing, where a lot of things don't synergize with each other, and a lot of choices that you would like to have for one playstyle are kind of limited to only the other playstyle. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for now. Let's see if there's any other stuff that's been said in Wowhead, but I doubt it. Pre-patch event, hunter feedback. Customizable hotbars, back fixes, retune the turning. What the hell? Retune turning? What does that mean? Like keyboard turning? Hold up. Let's show the turn. We wanted to make sure that when a turn matter, however, we might have been too heavily handled with those values. Now we found the outer limits. We've retuned the turn rate to lessen its impact. What? Include turn rate tech, adding few builds ago, allowing to make sharp turns. Oh, this is dragon riding. Oh, I don't give a fuck about dragon riding. I don't care.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Double possibility. No! It's already a possibility right now. And it's scoffed either way. Like, that's not even a thing. It's not a possibility. The melee build is better. Unless they tune things around like Holy Light and Flash of Light doing a lot of healing. The melee build is better because it has more holy power generation. And therefore, you have more Lights of Dawn, which do more healing, which make you stronger. So you are gonna go melee because it's better. Like, there's no two choices. It's still the same. That's what I mean. It's a watered down version. The range build is getting new stuff. The melee build is not getting anything new. The range build is, but it's still bad. It's still not good enough. So I'm not gonna play it. Unless they buff it or unless the tuning of things make it actually worthwhile, which it's yet to be tested, and I don't have alpha access. I wish Blizzard, please give me goddamn alpha access. I beg of you, but they're not gonna give it to me because I am still nobody when it comes to content creation, so I don't have any sort of priority. But I wish I could test this stuff, and I wish I could really like say, yo, if we want to make this an actual thing, the numbers gotta be bigger, the numbers gotta be lower, but that's just a matter of testing, whatever. Yeah. Believe in Blizzard balance and never, yeah. Leaving things up to Blizzard balance is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Blizzard guys are amazing. This week is Grievous. I'm a Holy Paladin. How would you change up talents and playstyle to keep up? I wouldn't. You play the same thing. That's just how it's been. Grievous is not an issue if you are good enough with keeping up with healing. It's how it is. It makes healing worse. It makes it harder, but you could go with, I don't know, You could play, some people play Beacon of Virtue because they fall behind on AoE healing. Some people would maybe, I don't know, go for a much more bursty comeback option like Holy Avenger. But I would still recommend the same build. You could go Kyrian if you want to have like a safer time healing. You could pick like better healing legendaries like Shadowbreakers. There's those things, but I'm personally gonna be staying Necro because Necro is just better. It's stronger, it does more damage, it does more healing if you play it properly. But if you are struggling, no shame on it. Go Kyrian. It's safer, it's easier, it's on demand. You can do it. It's a complete option. Like, you will not see top Holy Paladins do it. I mean, what's the top Holy Paladin right now? We don't even know what the top Holy Paladins are doing, but yeah, I would still pick Necrolord Hammer if you are really gonna push high keys. If you come to Barcelona, I'll let you try the alpha. You got them. Yeah, I remember you got the alpha before, and yeah, I'm still here waiting. Whatever. Good thing that they released the tree now. I'm glad they did. At least I get to cover it before I go away in vacations again. But I mean, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. They did bring back the thing that I said they would bring back, which was, well, one of the things that I said, which was the Tears Deliverance. But yeah, well, yeah, Tears Deliverance. There it is. But I would rather have them bring back Radiance, Holy Radiance, that the AoE healing thing. I would rather have them do that. They didn't. I would rather have them bring back Sacrifice Aura. If they brought back Sacrifice Aura, I wouldn't mind playing a caster build for shade. Like, that would be so cool. I would love that to be back. Just bring back Legion Holy Paladin, honestly. Just bring it back. Honestly, just do that. But check my build for Mythic Plus. Do I trust this link? Sure. You're putting... Okay, no. You're not putting 2 points into Mastery. Mythic Plus and Mastery don't go together. That is a no-no. You don't want more Mastery for Mythic Plus. You would instead pick something like this for more damage, and then you would pick something like this instead for more healing from your Word of Glory. I think the rest is basically what we already talked about. Now you also picked Double Horse, which you can get away with not picking, and then you could pick something like this. Maybe you can also give up this if it's situational, and you can get increased damage. That is what I said I was gonna be picking as a Mythic Plus build. What about this Holy build? Yeah, no, you're not picking that because you're not using Latsodon in Mythic Plus. Wait, did you? Hold up. Did you? Can I reopen it? Did you pick No, you didn't go down the Light of the Martyr path. So you would rather pick Bestow Faith here. Hold up, fuck, I keep on resetting it. I want to see what you picked, but it keeps changing it. God damn it. So you just, yeah, we just lost this. You pick this. Yeah, that's fine. You would pick that. You wouldn't pick that. You wouldn't pick this. You have to pick that. Actually, you don't have to. Hold up, I'm blind as fuck. You don't have to pick that shit. Hold up, I am blind. I'm absolutely blind. Well, you were not picking Crusader Smite for Mythic Plus? You would, of course, pick that. You don't want that. That's dog shit. But then you would have to pick Rule of Law. No, hold up. You don't pick that shit, you don't pick shit. So you pick that, you pick that, you pick that, yeah, okay. How do we go down? How do we go down then? How do we go down? We have everything here. We kind of need something else. We have to pick either more infusion bullshit, which we don't want. I'm blind as fuck. I didn't see there was more paths, dude. Or did they fix that now? I think I'm just blind, honestly. Okay, you pick Rule of Law. Why not? It's a cool ability. We'll pick it. You will pick Double Beacon. You wouldn't pick that. You would pick Glimmer. You would go here. You would pick Wings. You would pick that. This still... okay, let's assume it's 2 points. You would pick that. Maybe not that, maybe that. That would be the build. That would be the Mythic Plus build then. Dude, why was I picking Infusion bullshit? You would pick this. You would pick that. You would pick Beacon. Bestow Faith. You don't want to do the other thing because you don't use Light of Dawn. You pick Light Summer for more damage. You pick Crusader Smite and Crusader Strike charges for more holy power generation. You pick this because it's more damage and buffs allies and stuff. You need to pick that shit. You would pick that. Maybe you could give up this and pick something else. If this is not 2 points and this is only 1 point, then you could like do something else with that as well. But I don't know about this talent. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Who knows? Probably is good. And then what else we're giving up in this case? We're giving up increased chance of a second Light of Dawn, which we don't care about. We're giving up the infusion stuff, which is perfect. And we're giving up this stuff. Yeah, if this was 1 point, you would do this then. You would do that. You could probably do this or maybe do that. Maybe this would be the case then. However, the extra holy power generation is not too strong. It's really bad. Like it's really... It is good, but at the same time, it's not that strong. So there's other better choices. Between these two, yeah, you do pick this. Between these two, you do pick this. However, this is an actual holy shock, which also procs Glimmer. And also does healing. Whereas this is just holy power. So then no, you would actually pick this before this. I don't understand the two points in any of this though. I don't understand it. Like if it's 2 points, then what is it like? Light of Dawn 7.5 chance, I'm assuming. So if that was the case, then you would give up something like Resonance or this for that. I am sad you have to pick Rule of Law to go down. Let's just keep it up. Because what did you pick in this case? What do you do now? You don't... I mean, you could... Oh, yeah, you need Light of the Martyr. What am I doing? You need Light of the Martyr. Of course you do. Of course you do, dude. Oh my god, I thought it was the talent. Of course you fucking pick that shit. I'm still blind, man. I'm still blind. I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, there's the beacon. There's Light of the Martyr. There's no way you don't pick Light of the Martyr. There's no way. You could even pick Interpret Dedication, but... Yeah, that's not even a bad choice, honestly. You can kill yourself with that, though. But I forgot to change the conduit the other day. I was doing a green rail, and I killed myself. I hit myself for 16k because I was spamming somebody on the third boss on green rail, and I created myself with the full stacks for 16k, and I died. I did not expect to have the conduit because I just didn't change the conduit stuff, but. I straight up killed myself. So yeah, you would pick you would pick Light of the Martyr. You would give up Rule of Law. Rule of Law does not give extra value of mastery, which is doggo, but whatever. It was never that big of a deal. It was good, but it was never that big of a deal. Now you would only use Rule of Law for ranged purposes, so like to increase your ranged, which is okay. It makes it like be much more of a technical thing more than a throughput thing, so I don't mind it too much, but it's a nerf. It is what I don't even know how to say it. It's a nerf, basically. Healing the beacons, you would never want to do that. That's like the last resort, and it's dog shit to do. More healing on the beacons, fuck that. I don't want to heal my beacons. I lose value of my beacons if I heal them directly. Infusion of stuff, I pass on that. I don't care about it. I don't want it. They changed the mastery. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. Fuck. I don't want to say I don't care, but I don't know about it. It doesn't make sense that they are not taking it away, or rather changing it with the idea of making a ranged spell, but at the same time they haven't said anything about it, so therefore it's not being changed. Like it doesn't synergize with you being ranged, but at the same time, if you're staying in the ranged camp, you're getting more value out of your mastery in the ranged camp, so it doesn't even out. You're probably getting more value from melee, but you would kind of get more value on the range, so it's kind of the same still. Yeah, there's nothing on Rule of Law. There's nothing of the mastery. It's gone. It's gone. That part is gone. It's simply the extended range. Like if you read up Rule of Law right now, it says increase the range of your heals and the reach of your mastery Lightbringer by 50% for 10 seconds, right? If you go back to this, it simply says increase the range of your heals by 50% for 10 seconds. Now it does say by 50%, just like it did with the mastery thing, honestly. It is the same. It simply removed the idea of Rule of Law being a throughput talent. It's just a technical thing now. You need more range, you press it. So this is what I think the talent is going to be like, the talent tree. Maybe this... No, you would do this. You would either do that If that is a 2-point talent, you would do that right now, or otherwise you would do that. That's it. No questions asked. There's no other way around it. There's no way you go down here. It's not that big of a deal. I don't see how you go all the way down here. There's no way you play a range build. There's just no way. And yeah, that's it. That's the build. You'll change a lot of things depending on scenario. I don't think so. I don't think so. How do you change anything here? Depending on scenario. You're gonna be meleeing the boss or the ads, so you're gonna be using that. The blessing buff is very strong for what it is, so you might as well pick it. Divine Toll is insane. You're gonna be picking that. Oh, maybe this thing. Maybe you don't really want. This is a matter of tuning, but this would be a strong single target heal, so you would probably end up picking this no matter what. You have to prepare a caster build for a bot that... No. If a boss is bad for melee, you just don't play melee. Like, that's how it is. If a boss is bad for melee, like, if you're talking keys, that doesn't exist. But if you're talking, like, raiding or something like that, you would never... You would just not bring a Holy Paladin, that's it. It's sticking to melee. It is very much sticking to melee. The fact that Crusader Strike still gives Holy Power, as well as that the fact that they buffed Crusader's Might to be a 2-second Holy Shock reduction, like Holy Shock cooldown reduction, makes it so that being melee is as good as it's ever been. Like, it's better than ever because of the cooldown reduction and Holy Shock. So there's more Holy Power generation from it. The cooldown and Holy Shock is the same, right? Well, I mean, I have my haste counting here, but it's the same, right? Let me go to Wowhead. Just in case they've done anything about it. You never know, man. Yeah, it is the same. 7.5. So nothing's changed there. Yeah. So it is as melee as ever. What would you change depending on the situation? You could literally not pick Aura Mastery. Hold up. How many points do we have down here? It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, you can't give up Aura Mastery, because then you can't go down. So you need to pick Aura Mastery. You can't give up anything here with this 3. They buffed the fuck out of our wings, though. That's so cool, actually. Maybe it does, but there's nothing. There's nothing about it. This is like... So instead of increasing the value of mastery, they just created this thing where Word of Glory and Light of Dawn do 5% increase healing. It's a flat amount. So it's not dependent on rule of law. And they didn't have any other ideas, so they just made it a baseline thing. Like, sure, whatever. I'll take it, but not exciting. And yeah, you can't really give up much. So how many points do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10, 11. You can give up stuff here, but what are you going to give up? What are you going to give up here? You would have to pick more stuff down here, and then you could give up something, but you can't give up anything here. You can't give up anything here, and you can't give up anything here. So, no, you're not giving up anything up here. And what do you change? You don't want any of this. You don't want that. 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 Yeah. Maybe you pick Untempered Dedication, but that's just like as a backup option to make your Light of the Martyr stronger. I don't see you playing Marats unless there's like a reason to press Light of Dawn in Mythic Plus, like the 4 set is right now, but I don't see you pressing this ever. I'm still... Yeah, this is Mythic Plus. This is Mythic Plus. This is Mythic Plus. This would be the build for Mythic Plus. Okay, that's it. That's it. No more of this stuff. We're repeating ourselves at this point. We've talked about this a bunch of times. I don't know if I've just been blind and I didn't see that you can get away without picking this. I'm pretty sure I was just blind. So you don't even have to pick anything related to Infusion. You do need to pick the actual Infusion. But there is a world where you could get away without picking Infusion. Hold up. Is there a world? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is a world where you don't even pick Infusion, and then you don't pick your own personal Iron and Aura Mastery. So you wouldn't even have Infusion. Wait, hold up. Hold up. What that would look like? That would be so weird. We need to put more points here. So let's say we put points here. We can give up this. Can give up that. And how many do we have? Oh fuck, let's just put one here to be safe. Or here rather. Okay. We have 19. Okay, we can give up that. Now how do we go down? Okay, we didn't even pick Infusion. We didn't pick our personal. And we didn't pick our mastery. So this is really weird. This is absolutely weird. Then you would then like pick Rule of Law, I don't know. And you could potentially do something with Aurora Mastery, but that's bonkers. And without your personal, there's no way you would do that. But there is a world where you can do that, and then you have more points. I mean, maybe for like, because I don't know, maybe for like a Mythic Plus build, whatever. We have 21 now, so let's say you wouldn't pick that, you pick that, and like you can pick all this stuff and all this stuff. And we still we have no more points left. So what was the difference? We just picked like Rule of Law instead, and like Echoing Blessings. we picked like such bullshit for nothing. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There's no world where you ever don't pick those two things. So yeah, I think we've covered everything there is to talk about. If you've missed out on anything and you would like to see me talk about it or anything, I'm gonna be uploading the bot. I'm just gonna be uploading the entire thing in a minute to my YouTube channel, so you can watch that instead. But I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about at this point. There is little I can add again. I would just be repeating myself. So yeah, I don't really like the looks of this. I think this is kind of boring. There's like they could have done many more interesting things if they chose to either go full on melee or full on range, but here we are. They've done both once again, like in Shadowlands, and we've kind of fallen into this weird spot where we are not really getting anything cool for one side or anything cool for the other side. We're just getting the same stuff rehashed, and the choices to be made are really not there, because the Holy Power generation on the melee side is just way stronger than the Holy Power generation on the range side. Now they could balance this out very easily by nerfing Crusader Smite, and then, I don't know, making Infusion with Holy Light give 2 Holy Power, or something like making Infusion with Flash of Light also give 1 Holy Power, and then Infusion with Holy Light give 2 Holy Power. Maybe at that point would be looking at a ranged build looking better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You don't even take Holy Light. What? I don't think you can do that, right? Hold up. Could you do that? I closed all my trees actually. Oh, here it is. Nah, there's no world you can do that. You wouldn't be able to go down the Crusader Strike side and stuff. So you have to pick Holy Light. But you could potentially do it. I mean, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, you can't. You need to pick it 100%. You can't keep going down without picking Holy Light. So you have to pick it. Oh boy. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna go now. I'll upload the whole bot in a second, but I don't have anything else to add, so I hope you enjoyed that breakdown. I hope you enjoyed the theory crafting and like the first impressions or whatever. And yeah, hopefully they give me alpha access so we can test all of this stuff live. Well, not live, but on the alpha, and we can give some proper feedback. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video whenever we have more news about Holy Paladin changes, because there is going to be Holy Paladin changes. Believe me, there will be Paladin changes. Otherwise, this is not looking too great. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video.